In this video, I'll break it down into 6 clear, actionable steps that you can take today to prepare you for your first lesson. Let's dive in. First, make a list of local flight schools and research them. I recommend comparing at least 2 flight schools to weigh their pros and cons. Start your search using AOPA's Flight School Directory and Sportys Flight Training Central. Links for these tools are in the description. While these tools usually work well, not every flight school or instructor is listed. And if you're struggling to find options, try this method instead. Visit airnav.com and select airports. Click Advanced Search, enter your city and state or your zip code, and set a 20 nautical mile radius. You can always expand the search radius if needed. Review each airport and go to the primary business listings. Call that business to ask if they or anyone at the airport offers flight training. Once you have your list, take time to assess the schools. Since you'll be investing significant time and money, asking key questions is critical. Try to find out what are the costs and payment policies, what aircraft do they use and who maintains them, what types of training do they offer, and what is their training philosophy. Choosing a school can be challenging, so stay tuned. I'm working on a future video with more tips on finding the right fit. Step 2, arrange to take a flight in a small airplane. If you've never flown in a small airplane, I highly recommend trying it before investing too much in flight training or supplies. Why? Well, because flying in a small airplane is different than flying on a commercial jet. While I find it exciting and fun, not everyone feels the same. Small airplanes are noisy, they can be hot in the summer and cold in the winter, and they move more in bumpy air and are much smaller than many people expect, especially 2- and 4-seat aircraft. The best way to experience this is with a friend who's a pilot. If you know one, reach out. They'll likely be happy to take you for a ride. Many pilots jump at the chance to share their passion. That's exactly how I had my first flight in a small plane. If you don't know a pilot, most flight schools offer affordable discovery flights. These not only let you experience flying in a small airplane, but they often include a brief introduction to a real flight lesson. Step 3. Find an aviation medical examiner, or AME. To obtain your private pilot certificate, you'll need an aviation medical certificate. Most students have no trouble getting their certificate, but some are caught off guard. For example, one of my students discovered he had diabetes. Another learned that their childhood ADHD medication required FAA review, even though they no longer took it. A third found out they were colorblind and couldn't qualify for a first-class medical certificate. If you have a medical condition that could delay FAA approval or even disqualify you, it's best to find out before investing in flight training. Start your search by determining which medical certificate you'll need. The type depends on your flying goals. A Class 3 medical certificate is for private pilots who don't plan to fly for hire. Class 2 is for commercial pilots who won't be flying for the airlines or large cargo carriers, and Class 1 is required for airline pilots, cargo pilots like FedEx or UPS, etc., and most collegiate aviation programs. Now that you know the type of certificate you'll need, you're ready to find an aviation medical examiner. Start by visiting the FAA Designee Locator page. I've put the link in the description. Under the designee types, select AME for Aviation Medical Examiner. Click Location Search and start by entering your state. If the list ends up being too long, refine the search by adding your city as well. Next, select First Class AME. If no one nearby offers this and you only need a second class or a third class medical certificate, you can click Second Class/Third Class AME instead. Write down the contact information for a few nearby examiners, but don't call them yet. Most will want you to complete the MedExpress application before scheduling an exam. That brings us to step number 4. Create your MedExpress account and begin filling out the application. MedExpress is the online application you'll use to apply for your aviation medical certificate. First, set up your account. Go to medexpress.faa.gov. Click Accept, then select Request an Account. Fill out the form, accept the privacy policy, and submit. You'll receive your account details via email within a few minutes. Then, sign in and start filling out your application. If you're unsure how to answer questions in the medication, medical history, or medical visits section, don't submit the form yet. Instead, click Save and Complete Later and contact your new aviation medical examiner. Why? Well, because some medical conditions may require extra documentation and exam questions can be tricky. It's best to clarify any uncertainties with your AME in advance of your appointment to avoid delays. Once you're confident in your answers, submit the form, write down your application number, and schedule your exam. Step number 5, create an account in IACRA and start an application for your student pilot certificate. You'll need a student pilot certificate to solo during training, so the sooner you get it, the better prepared you'll be. To start, visit iacra.faa.gov and create an account. But please note, this is separate from your MedExpress account, so keep track of both logins. As part of the account creation process, you'll receive an FTN number. Write this number down someplace easy to find because you'll need it for your written tests and check ride applications. Next, start your application for your student pilot certificate and fill out as much of it as you can. The more information you can provide, the better. During your first lesson, you and your instructor will review the application and you can correct any necessary information. Then, your CFI will certify your application. Creating your account and entering that information ahead of time will speed up the process and make you look really good to your new instructor. Step number 6, download the following essential FAA handbooks: the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, the Airplane Flying Handbook, the Risk Management Handbook, the Weight and Balance Handbook, and the Private Pilot Airman Certification Standards, or ACS. All of these are available for free on the FAA website. And while you may choose additional books, subscriptions, or test prep materials, these handbooks cover nearly everything you need to earn your private pilot certificate, all at no cost. And that's it. By following these steps, you will be well on your way to beginning your flight training journey, and you'll be starting it with confidence and setting yourself up for success from day one. A quick note, while I suggested an order for these steps, because everyone's situation can be different, feel free to do them in the order that works best for you. The important thing is to get them done. Also, as a reminder, I've put links to all of the sites and resources listed in this video in the description. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and consider leaving a tip using Buy Me a Coffee. The link for that is in the description. For more flight training tips, I recommend watching this video next. And as always, thank you for watching, fly safely, and I will see you next time.